Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video I'm going to be doing a review of the Satone SD-10 isolated power supply. For full disclosure, Satone sent me this power supply free of charge in exchange for my review, but we're going to take a quick look at that, go over the features, see what it has to offer, and any questions that you might have, please leave a comment down below. A quick unboxing shows that you will get two smaller boxes, the fittings box and then the actual power supply brick itself. We'll take a quick look at what you get here in the fittings box. You have 10 adapters, barrel tip adapters that will be used for the power brick. They give you two different adapters, so we have a reverse polarity, so it'll change from barrel tip negative to barrel tip positive, for example. They'll also give you an older style for the pedals that have it, the tip sleeve 3.5mm jack that converts it over to a modern barrel tip. And then finally the power supply, which this may look a little different if you are in another country. This is actually for the United States, running at 120 volts typically. But this power supply, as I look past the camera here, is capable of operating anywhere from 100 volts to 240 volts. So it is a worldwide voltage. You just might you might have something different depending on where you are. Here is the main power brick that you'll be using to connect all your pedals to. The wall power supply will plug into this barrel tip adapter here, marked in yellow. It is very, very light. It's about 300 grams. It's made of about 3.5mm aluminum plate here, and then the thickness from top to bottom is about 1 to 1.25 inches. And very lightweight. It's got a lot of different ports here. You have your 9-volt ports over here, and then you have another 9-volt port, but it actually is meant for higher currents, so up to 300 milliamps and 500 milliamps respectively. And then this is where things get pretty interesting. It's actually got a combination output jacks here for one at 300 milliamps, and you can either select 12 volts or 9 volts here, so you have yourself another one of these. Or if you have a pedal that operates at 12 volts, you just flip this switch up, and then you have 300 milliamps of power at that particular voltage. And then there are pedals too that will run at 18 volts, and you got yourself 100 milliamp output here. The interesting thing about this power supply is that it now boasts a USB type A and then a USB type C output here too. I'm seeing a lot more pedals on the market these days that are actually employing a USB power cord. Even if you're using a USB A or a USB type C, for example, going to a barrel tip adapter for your more standard barrel tip negative pedals, you now have the option, without having to buy the adapter, you can just plug right into these 5-volt ports and you're ready to go. So this power supply is said to be isolated, and what they're likely doing, because if I see a switch like this here on the front faceplate here, I have the choice between 9 volts or 12 volts here. That means that there is a DC to DC converter for each one of these outputs that is taking the 18 volts coming in, regulating it down to 9 volts. And there's usually isolation with a chip like that. So that's usually running on all of these outputs. Makes it very handy. There's no chance of noise or ground loops to happen with a power supply like this. Definitely a good plus for the feature set that you get with this product. I've zoomed out wide a little bit here just to demonstrate that we do have 5 volts here on the output here. And this is one of my vacuum tube cathode current testers that actually runs off a USB. So it goes USB to barrel tip. And ideally what I can just do is go ahead and just plug this in. And there you go. And then I can go and select the different current for the tubes there, but the device is powered up. We have 5 volts available to us. Now this pedal power supply I have plugged into its power brick to the wall. And what we're going to test is the short circuit protection that is built into this power brick here. And the way it works is that I'm going to take one of these wires that comes in with the kit, and I'm just going to plug it into just any port. Now you're going to see that the light comes on here. There's your blue LED telling you that this port is active. Now I'm going to take these metal tweezers, and I should be able to short this out, and this blue LED should go out in the event of a short. And you can see that it will actually turn off letting you know that that particular pedal is shorted out or it's too much current, and you'll have to go and address that for your setup. But that's how the short circuit works. Inside there is a large resistor. In the event of a short circuit, all that heat is going to go into that resistor, protecting your pedal. Zooming out a little wide here, what we're going to do is have an example of a pedal. How do I connect this over to the power supply? I have here a drum loop pedal, and what the first step you want to do is look here on the pedal and see what the power requirements are. You see that the adapter here, it says this pedal requires 9 volts and up to 300 milliamps of current. That is maximum peak current, meaning that it is not going to be drawing 300 milliamps all the time. It will only draw it for a very short amount of time, and you need up to 300 milliamps in order for this pedal to work correctly. So that means that we can choose either this port, the 500 milliamp port, this port set to 9 volts at 300 milliamps. The 100 milliamp ports here are not going to be able to supply enough current to run this pedal properly. So what we'll do here is we'll just take the wire, we'll go ahead and plug it into the pedal first. You can plug it into the power supply, it doesn't make a difference. All right, and then what we'll do is just plug this in to the 300 milliamp port. The blue light should come on, and then you can see that the tap light is active and the pedal is powered up, ready to go. All right, everyone, that is my unboxing and review of the Satone isolated power supply, the model SD-10. If there's any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching.